9 o'clock. Today is Monday, the 5th day of June. This is the Prime Morning Drive on Prime FM 105.5. We have in the studio a reverend and very respected statesman, a lawyer, a human rights advocate, former minister of labor, former solicitor general, former student leader. It's a long, and I have to put this on the record to say he's also a devout, Roman Catholic. Yeah, I mean, he goes to Mass. I don't want to say every day, but I mean, I see him in Mass, and I have to put that. Good morning, Councillor. Welcome.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Did you do your regular exercise?
I did. I didn't do the class on this morning because I ran.
Yeah, I saw a video where you told the class to do some exercise.
3-4 minutes of my class these days will do. Because you have to be physically fit to be mentally awake.
Okay, great. I like that. Let's start off. This 2014 amendments to the new election law of Liberia. You took a giant step by going to the court for judicial interpretation. How did it all start? You want to run us through?
So let me say it's not me, it's my party.
Okay, the party, Liberia
People's Party, filed a petition for declaratory judgment questioning the constitutionality of the statute.
Okay.
And so I cannot discuss the merit of the case because it's now sub judice.
Okay.
But one of the reasons I agreed to come on the show is that I've been reading on the social media a lot of confusion. Mm-hmm. And one of our responsibilities as lawyers is to educate the public on any issue because confusion can lead to chaos as well. So there are many people I read on the social media, including lawyers, sometimes I would say disappointingly, who say that all constitutional issues should be directed to the Supreme Court and not lower court.
Okay.
And then I'm happy that many lawyers have disagreed with that, including Prof. Kukoyan.
Kukoyan.
My student, one of my students I'm very proud of because he's coming up right in my footstep, Jeremiah Dubo.
Yeah, Jeremiah Dubo.
He's doing very well. Okay. I read Roosevelt Gould's statement, several other lawyers, including the lawyers that signed a petition with me, Councillor Yelloway, Alvin Yelloway, and Lawrence Tuma. But I believe I'm a bigger voice and I need to explain to the public as somebody who's also teaching law at the 2 law schools. And I'm the first to teach the course on law and politics. And wow. I think that's where we are. I introduced that course under the Dean Babu brother and said, the only person I see fit to teach this course is you. And I've been teaching it for, I think, 2 semesters or so. Okay. And it's been the most popular course in the school. It's a 3rd-year course because then we deal with all these issues. Okay. Let me say for the education of the public that the Supreme Court under Article 66 of the Constitution is an appellate court. Okay. It's a review court.
Okay.
It deals with both factual issues and constitutional issues, administrative issue, whatever, is the final arbiter of all issues, including constitutional issues. The word final means there has to be an origin from somewhere. Okay. That word was not just dropped in the Constitution. The Constitution was written by scholars, led by Dr. Edmund C. Saye. And even the review in Banga was led by Dr. Cassidy and another political scientist. So these were people who were not using words like that without any deep meaning. So constitutional issues can be raised at any court.
Wow.
Now, before I even get there, on the issue of the constitutionality of a statute, if you read the Civil Procedure Law, Section 5.64, I was just educating my students about it now. It says, when the constitutionality of a statute is raised in any court, and that issue does not include the government or any agency of government, like for example a company or some private individual trying to utilize certain law against you, and you believe that the law is unconstitutional, you can raise the constitutionality of that law in a district court, in a territorial court, in a county court. And the law says in that case, the court is required to start the proceeding and inform the attorney general or the county attorney, or when we used to, at the time the law was written, we had territories like Magibi territory or other, or the territorial attorney or the district attorney to come and intervene and defend the statute. So the fact that the lawmakers said that statutes could be defended from county, territory, and district courts means that the constitutionality of a statute can be raised at the lower court. When, for example, in the circuit court in any county, that issue is raised and the court rules one way or the other, somebody who is not satisfied, maybe the county attorney or the lawyer on the other side, will appeal to the Supreme Court. And then the Supreme Court will be the final arbiter of that constitutional issue, of the unconstitutionality of a statute. That is clear. So you see, the Civil Procedure Law, Section 5.64, and the Constitution of Liberia, Article 66, clearly, it makes it clear that you can file, any action in the lower court to question the constitutionality of a statute. So I want to let the public know it was not a mistake that LPP made. More than that, some of the people who are raising the issue are from Liberty Party. Maybe they forgot the history. In 2011, when I resigned from government in 2010, the Elections Commission hired me to be one of their lawyers with Alexander Zoe. And the Liberty Party, through its founder, the late Councillor Charles Walker Bromskin, filed a petition for declaratory judgment in the very civil law court.
He was a respected lawyer as
well. He was a respected lawyer, an erudite lawyer, constitutional lawyer who taught law. I had great respect for his legal knowledge. Nobody in this country would doubt his legal knowledge. We didn't elect him president, but he was a great lawyer. And so, respected nationally and internationally, he filed that petition. Can the people in Liberty Party who are questioning LPP's action now say Councillor Bromsky made a mistake?
They can.
they cannot say so. And they can go and read that. Then MPC,
Movement for Progressive Change,
also filed another petition in the civil law code. When both cases were appealed to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court consolidated all. Again, I appear in the Supreme Court and argued on behalf of the Elections Commission. And Councillor Bromsky and Serena Sifos appeared on the other side and argued, for the two parties. So, this is something that there's a judicial precedent for. There are more judicial precedents. Citizen solidarity. When they try to question
the code of conduct.
The code of conduct. Again, it went by petition for declaratory judgment. So, I think people maybe forget. So, Center for Law and Human Rights Education, headed by respected lawyer, Councillor Benedict Sano, a law professor, filed petition for declaratory judgment against MC's University Council for declaring Sunday as a day for a holiday for not selling all of that, along with the Islamic community petition for declaratory judgment. So for them to say today, the Liberian People's Party that has had a standard bearer who has been a law professor, has been an advocate of good governance and rule of law, that is teaching in the two law schools right now, teaching constitutional law, human rights law, law and politics, criminal procedure, criminal law, and international humanitarian law. So I've taught, there are not many law professors in this country that have taught 6 courses in the law. Some just teach 1 course, at most 2. I have taught 6.
Wow.
Yeah. And so for someone to think that I just acted, and I find it insulting, you know what I mean? That's freedom of expression. I've been advocating, I accept that, but I think at a certain level, people in the 3 branches of government should lead the public in the right direction, and not to let politics overtake them to the extent that we unintentionally miseducate the public and thereby create confusion. Because I read these things, I read comments. I read my young brother, I don't know whether I should call him former progressive brother or current progressive brother. Okay, he was a sub-militant before. I always tell to people, the real test of commitment to transformation and standing up for what is right is when you leave the university.
Okay.
Consistency will watch you. He is talking to a former acting chairman of SUP that he was a member of and knows my level of consistency and how thorough I can be and how calculative I can be. He, Minister of Information, is going against the advice I gave him before he started attacking everyone. I said, please learn from Dr. Edward Kesseley. He was a good Minister of Information, promoting government policies going all over the country, not reacting to critics. At that time, Moja and power was strong in this country, but I never heard Edward Cassidy reacting to any of them. So I read his post. Tired, not be lazy. Alone as the senior counsel is tired. At his level, he should not be able to make those kind of statements. Because we don't expect the young people to make those kind of statements.
So we don't.
Edward Cassidy used to come around. I was a student in San Nicola. He said, you see, I'm wearing total involvement suit. This government wants us to work and to rely on what is produced in Liberia. This suit, short sleeve suit, is produced by Liberian tailors. As a young person, then I remembered, I said, he said, this is Liberianization. Then he went around, the soil is a bank. Let's draw from it by planting. Let's grow what we eat, and let's, eat what we grow. That was the government's policy. It went from Cape Palmas from Cape Town to Cape Palmas, spreading that message around. That is the role of the Minister of Information, is to promote to promote government's policies. Some of what is happening on Thursdays, bringing government officials, all of that. I think it started under Minister Louise Brown. So that is good. But to get in small talks, I think that's carrying the office of the Minister of Information very low, very low.
Is it like you don't think he should have an opinion to express? Is that what you're saying?
No, he has issue express his opinion but he's in a government. He's not speaking for himself. In that government, there's a Department of Justice that has lawyers, and you should consult those people, right? Because when you speak as Minister of Information, it reflects upon the government.
Mm-hmm. No, it has weight. I mean, in journalism, we say news is prominent.
Exactly. And he's a newsmaker.
Yeah.
And how will other ministers of information around the world think about him, that he's involved in small talks? Because it's somebody like me, a former minister, a law professor, former president of bar, you know, acts legally and you're trying to challenge it, it must be profound.
Okay.
It must be based on the law. Okay. And so you must do your research. And there are plenty people around who could provide, that information. Nobody from, no lawyer working in the government has reacted. At least I've not seen. Even my little brother, the senator who raised the issue, has one of my brilliant students who just graduated from law school working in his office, a former student leader, Kwame Weeks. If he had just consulted him, he would not have said what he said. Am I missing something? Is the erudite lawyer, why would you?
Who's senator you referring to?
Senator Dillon is the one that started the whole issue. So in his office, I think that his office chief was time, and I'm mistaken, is coming weeks, brilliant student. I taught him several courses. I taught him law and politics. I taught him human rights. Several courses. And I have great respect for his mind. He writes well. And of course, Kwame, which will not allow any statement that would tend to ridicule his former professor, because that would question his own degree. So, yeah. So I'm on the radio to just explain to the public that LPP procedure.
They once supported yesterday and when it happens today.
It is very common with some politicians in Africa. It's like you write an award-winning book, right? Saying all the right things then that government should do. And you get to power and ban that book.
Okay.
So, the party, especially during the last term, did some good things like the policy-wise. For example, the idea of creating 10 new posts and putting those posts above politics was a good idea.
Okay.
But to see the same United Party coming back and banning our book by dismissing people from tenure positions, hey, what's wrong with this book that you wrote before when you were leaving power? And that's not good. It confuses people. And so the things they said before, all of these positions are, or what they call services that are outsourced today, were outsourced unaware. Some of them, not all of them, or the process of outsourcing, all of them were done unaware. And nothing has changed. Procurement, there was some problem with procurement in the past. I have no public information on whether or not the yellow machine went through the procurement process, whether it was budgeted. That's rule of law issue there. And whether they are giving, outsourcing, whether at the same time they were amending provisions of some of those laws, some of the statutes. And even the big project in Foya. And when people try to say, oh, but Monterey is not Liberia, we have Gongloe, we talk about the conference center, but we need to have places out. I even see that government is trying to build a convention center on the Banga Highway. They've cleared the place. I wouldn't do that. I don't think that's a priority right now because a lot of money needs to spend on education and health. Very little on agriculture. And I've said, if at the end of President Baga's regime we're not full sufficient, I don't care what he does in this country, he has failed. Just like we said, we have failed. Football, we couldn't win Wafu. I didn't even talk about,
Qualify for us.
Yeah, we couldn't. So that's your area. Like, I've come to power, I'm a real law person, being president of the bar, teaching law, and then there's no adherence to rule of law. I don't care whether I build skyscraper for people all over, housing estates and everything, reduce rent. I don't care what I do. I will be judged by that and say, this man failed. You fail in rule of law, you fail. You are a rule of person. So that is some of the things that are happening now. We are government fail in the rule of law for the 4% according to the MCC. But our government got 44%. According to the remedy I learned in Prima 1, I ain't even talking about first grade. 44, minus 44, that's zero. So there has been no movement in that area. On our way, security man, Mary Ellie, was found dead by bullets, and they say he shot himself 3 times. Under President Buckeye, Sergeant Madden was found dead at EBK barracks while he was on duty, and they say he shot himself 6 times. That type of similarity doesn't show any change, and human security is the number one thing in any society. It has to change. I see plenty of publicity about some road construction and all that. I go all over the country. I've never stopped going all over the country. You've seen my video in Kepamas and all of that. Sometimes people sit and think that people are rich from Jama. The last time I went to Saye town, it said was dusty. The people are not even reached Saye town at that time. That's about 2-3 months ago. Good effort. The construction was dedicated in the last days of President Saye, the groundbreaking, and then the people started. By the time President Boga came to power, I think they had passed the bridge between Bong and Lofa County, and they were moving. So government is continuity. We praise them for continuing the project. Similarly, the road in the southeast, the honor where he had just it was in Fishtown. And under this government has passed Fishtown, has passed Kaweke, is coming on, which is good. We praise them for that. That's continuity. We hope that before the government ends, the road from Kepamas will have connected to the road from Ganda, so that it will be easy to move throughout the country. This is governance. For personal reasons, I mean, I live on the Robertsfield Road. I'm pleading with the Ministry of Public Works, the entire government, to make sure that that road is completed, at least off to Boys Town, Marshall Junction, where majority of the population lives. And because I can tell you, I have a new car, but every other week now I'm going to garage because it's raining like that. The ditches on that road, ditches on the lateral right road is even better. But when you have paved road with the crushed racks, there are a lot of people. Every time we go home or coming, you see a lot of cars back on the road, broken down, and that is a major route for Liberia in terms of our economy. People come, visitors come, whether they're tourists, investors. Our first impression, you want to can get the public to interact a little bit is public education in the law to make sure that procedure the LPP did not make any mistake.
I mean, we will slip into a few things, I mean, like you said, you can discuss the substantive of the case because it's sub judice, and again, you one of the parties to the case. Let's look at
more than that. I wrote an
you wrote an
education
extensive
piece before this case came. That one, people can deal with it, but it was before the case came.
So one of the part there that I don't know whether it will bother still on the case. You wrote a long piece extensively. We talked about it last week about that provision of the law being in violation of the Constitution, and you cited a number of constitutional Article 11 and all of that.
That one will be before the court. I can't discuss. I can't. I don't want to be held in contempt.
Okay, let's do this. A good friend of yours from many years, Dusty, has passed. You want to pay tribute to him?
Oh yes, I already paid my tribute. Dusty was a great man. He was a well-rounded person, politically, socially. I'm sure the Parliament on 19th Street was based in Malad. He had no boundary in terms of his relationship with people. He had great relationship with people in the opposition. He did not look at people in terms of political differences, and he could hold his ground. You could be on the other side, you and Dusty would argue. but he's your friend. You drink the beer together and everything. So he was a great man. And he suffered a lot without even, just they never talk about the pain and suffering he went through for this country. But when you read my tribute, you will see it. Dusty and I went to jail. I was the youngest among them. He, Company Wisa, myself, Cabo Wisner, Sando, Stewart, John Stewart, who writes a lot, and the late William Wilson. We were about six that went to jail on April 3rd or so when Jimmy Carter came to Liberia. And we were opposing that Jimmy Carter visit, but the declaration the day as a holiday by our president. And the rest I remember a funny thing I heard that in the interior when Jacob Klippo on the ELW was reading the news in Mana, and then you call it names. Mm-hmm. 6 student leaders at the university, the B school, there were only 2 universities, Cotton and University, and to go to LU those days was a big thing. Okay. I was the only one, there were 2 from our town, and maybe the only 2 in the whole district going to me and the late mayor said Pepe. I was the youngest. So then they say, they would come there, we say, all the people say, Tiawan, Gongloe. And Jacob Clifford say, Mano, they want sound like Mano Nemo. The people in the interior were afraid. My father came to Monrovia. He said, you got to take your hand from this thing. I said, no. And you sent me to university. That's what I learned in there, But, yeah, peace be to his ashes. He said, you be nothing. You're not accomplishing anything. You're wasting my money. Look at that kind of thing. Jackson Doe came to the university. You hear him talking against government? He named all the people I graduated from university like boy, you and all of that. Fangalo. He said, who you little boy like you? Come put your mouth on government. Of course, they were all three parties since then and was speaking against three parties. Everybody knew. So when our Minister of Labor one day was sitting there talking, I said, Pa, so you really believe it? Then he said, boy, he said, I know what it did to Como. The kill Como is son. He said, you think the Liberian power business a small thing? So I was scared for myself too. They were going to put you in jail, you small boy, maybe kill you. Then they take me from job. Then all my children suffer because of you. That's why I was scared. So I said, well, that all the things I did, I got my name known. Your Gongloe name from where Glaze up in the village is known all over the world now. Yeah. I said, it's in books. I said, go read Dr. Saye book. Mm-hmm. Your son is inside coming from peace conference, walking behind Dr. Sawyer. That whole thing I did that got me to be known. So, yeah.
Have you changed your style from student days to today? Do you remember changing to say, okay, this one, I'm going to find comfort in this one. I'm not going to find comfort in this one.
I don't know whether it's a good thing or bad thing, but me, I'm consistent and persistent, and my friends tell me so. Okay. I'm not too smart to be changing. Okay. I like, it's easy to follow one path. Yeah, and I think so people can predict me. For example, when President Salif said all the ministers should go home for 2 weeks, mm-hmm. my late friend, comrade, and said, I'm not going by the government. I left the government. Our practice be predictable. You should have a life pattern that somebody can predict you. One of your official government was seen last night with Tom Bowie and you see, and John T. Regency, Imam Bagley in the bush planning, and the man is close to you. Oh. That also is that lie in my presence. He said, if you had told me mm-hmm. that person who named you calling mm-hmm. was sitting in 1 o'clock, that 1 o'clock you talking about, with one little girl mm-hmm. and a beer on the table, you drinking a beer and sitting with one little girl, I'm going to believe it. But he must leave his bed and go sit there in the bush somewhere 1 o'clock in the morning, that lie, I don't believe it. So it is a question of, somebody knowing you or have a character that somebody can predict. And that's what I've been. And my friends tell me, you done well. From the time we knew you from school days, even from high school. Mm-hmm. Imagine, I can say it publicly, I was 26 years old before I slept with any woman in my life. Wow. I disciplined myself. I was a guitar player in my school, and those days the young guys would be flirting around. I played guitar for President Tobo in 1975. Among the people is standing up playing, the guys coming. To the extent that Brother Sebastian wanted me to be a Catholic brother. And the late Archbishop Michael Francis, he was still a priest in a place that he called me and said, I hear everything about you, that you're so disciplined, mature, young man, 16, 17, and you are not carried away by the young girls. So I want you to be a priest. I wanted to be a priest because I used to admire Father Tipo and Father Francis, because they knew so much book. The boys used to speak book when they're preaching, man.
Wow.
So I wanted to be like that. I used to like reading this. So I went to my pa, and ma said, I want to be a priest. My pa agreed. My mom said, what? No way. I want my first son.
Grandchildren.
Hey, you are my first son. I want to have grandchildren. I agree. But I didn't have many children. I had two natural children, but I have so many children that have lived with me. So I have more than 50, more than 100 children I can say, because I take care of them like I take care of my own children. Two are living with me now, going to private school. So, but biological children, my mother used to say, I stopped you from being preached. You even born 4 or 5 children, sir. You get two that children, one boy, one girl. That children, I say, yeah, oh man, that what God gave me. But yeah, so I don't drink like that. I've tasted beer before. I tasted wine
It's my
before.
favorite drink. You don't like it?
No. I tasted wine before. I've tasted all those things. I will not carry away, but I sat in a room in San Nicolas in 11th grade, and my friends wanted to carry me. They said, my man, when you take marijuana, you can be brave. You can be brave. You walk, you hip among the guys. You be moving. That time we used to wear pre-nickel shoes.
Wow.
And carry the afro and bell bottom. You guys be looking at you. You know what? So I was in one room one day, and about 5 of them, they were smoking marijuana like they do. They say when the CID catch it all here, we say all about doing it. I say I will not do it. I insist. You got to be who you are and insist on it. Of course, it can deny you friends, it can deny you opportunities, but just be what you are. I'm loyal to my conscience and my country. That's how I've been all through my life.
Councillor Tiawan Saye Gongloe, 8 minutes to 10 o'clock. This is the Prime Morning Drive on Prime FM 105.5. Councillor, quickly before...
let me tell you one joke about one pastor. I was young. I was like, maybe when Tobo was overthrown, I was 24 years old, 1980. In fact, I reached 24 or 23. And the pastors from Bonkande, the Baptist pastors came with the Bonkande, put the pledge loyalty to Samuel doing the PRC. And I met one of the pastors, my uncle, the chief Pastor Willie, and my late uncle Samuel Mago, secret of me. I said, uncle, where you keep the money from? We came to pledge support to the PRC. I said, who? He said, we the Baptist minister of Bonkande. I said, a mistake. 10 commandments say that shall not kill. The poor kill, if I kill a Baptist pastor, trouble. So how your lawyer come and tell them thank you? That thing hit him. He said, that true you're talking about. So he used to remind me until he died like 2 years ago. He said, the little boy got common sense, he been having wisdom. He went and told the pastors. The Baptist pastors from Bonkande declined. They left the whole group. They said, that shall not kill. The poor kill people. They will come tell them thank you, because all the countries were coming and pledging support. They left. They said, I want to stay with politicians. So I always try, I make my mistakes, but I always try to think about society in an objective way. I think more about society than I think about myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Finally, before we go to the lines with 6 minutes to 10 o'clock, if you were asked to rate the government, rule of law, corruption, what percentage you would give it? And then in a Tiawan Saye Gongloe government, what will you prioritize?
Anti-corruption. You see me walking in Rome. I always say my model country in Africa is Botswana. I used to talk about Singapore, but Singapore, a different country. They will say, oh, that white people and different. in Africa, black people, when Botswana gained independence in 1966, Liberia 119 years independent. Botswana was a poor country. They were only having cattle, landlocked country, 70% of the land desert. That kind of harsh condition that God gave them. Then they discovered diamond. And the president were honest and said, this diamond is not going to increase salaries. We're going to use it to develop the country, build the best schools in the country, build the best hospital, build the best roads, and invest in agriculture. They eat millets. They produce more than 50% of the millet they eat in our country. The citizens are happy. Check 5 years from now, backwards. You will never hear about any protest in Botswana. When the citizens are happy, they don't engage in protest because Botswana is the least corrupt country. This country is very corrupt. Look, corruption manifests itself in different ways. For example, the yellow machine did not come through any procurement process. The major project in Foya, no procurement. The dismissal of people from government just to bring party loyalists is a form of corruption because that's undermining the rule of law. Undermining the rule of law. So many of these things, this government, rule of law, corruption is connected to rule of law. In an environment where there's strong adherence to rule of law, you can't have corruption. In a bar association, for example, when I led it, there was no corruption because I instituted a licensing system. For you to practice law, you had to fill a form, make sure that you are in good standing with the bar in terms of dues and your license fees to government to get it. And before I left the bar, I set up a committee and an external auditor was hired. The external auditor audited the bar. They said, the president wants to send you one draft to look at. I said, release it to the public. I put it on the bar website. They put it on the bar website. Transparency. That's how you deal with public money, right? And I used to return money. The first 1,000 they gave me to go to Nigeria to attend African Bar meeting, I got there. They gave me the same everything. They gave me 1,000 more. So I said, but the money they gave me, so I never used the bar money. I think I used $187. I brought the balance back to the bar. $817.
I mean, those were the legitimate monies you could have used it. I mean, the one the bar gave you, the one you got in Nigeria.
No, I was giving money for spending. Then I arrived in Nigeria, and they gave me money. So I bought the bar, and I knew the cover was low, and we were begging Carter Center and UNDP and American Embassy all the time. We want to after assembly. I wanted the bar to be independent. So I came back. One time, just before I left office, ECOWAS invited me to Lomé. I got there. Bar gave me 1,000. I got there. ECOWAS gave me 1,002 and hotel bill and everything. I brought the bar money back. I went to Gambia. I brought the bar money back.
Wow.
So, and then I said that. So, other president of the bar succeeding me have been George Bar, members of the bar on the basis of, I built the first floor of a 3-story building that was approved by the bar. It's still first floor. The succeeding administration work on the first floor. They want to be using the building, but it's intended to be a 3-story building. I believe over time it will be built. And because we insisted that you have to pay your bar due before you practice law, I had classmates coming to me, Mr. President, I owe him 5 years, I paid 3 years. I paid 4 years. Can you allow me to practice, get my license? I said, no, until you pay.
Clearly 5 years.
Clearly 5 years. So every year, and leadership by example is the best. As president of the bar, I used to pay for all the lawyers. That time I have 5 or 6 lawyers in the law firm. They're reduced now. I used to pay for all of them so that I can have the credibility to question other people. So I used to pay. Even this year, I was among the first to pay for my law firm. Every lawyer in my office has his license.
Wow.
That's what you do. We're not making enough money, like many law firms, but our obligation, we have to meet it. As former President Obama will now honor man about. That's what we should do. I hear the President Weah came and say, "Oh, I reduced my salary by 25%," but we don't know the salary. You can't appreciate percentage unless you know the whole number. Then President Baga came and said, "My own more than that. I reduced my salary by 45%." But why you can't tell the whole number?
Why you can't? That's not transparency.
No, tell us the whole number. I know the salary of the President of the United States is $400,000 a year. I know the salary of the Speaker of the United States Senate $193,000 a year. It is just by analyzing, people who know the numbers are asking to analyze, that I know that the President pro tem of Liberia made $254,000 last year, straight salary above the American President pro tem's salary. Same thing with the Speaker.
And that's a country far richer than
we are a begging nation. That's more than the Speaker and all the people making in Botswana. They don't waste money like in Botswana. That's why the citizens of Botswana respect their country. I want to be a president that will make Liberia like Botswana. Botswana, that was poor in 1966, that gained independence 119 years after us, is now a middle-income country, and we are among the 15 poorest countries of the world, not just in Africa. That's shameful. And we have more natural resources than Botswana. I've been all over this country. It's green everywhere, and the soil is rich. You don't even have to dig the soil deposit, and you drop any seed, it can just grow by itself. That is Liberia. We have a long sea coast that is sandy. Even countries like Senegal that have strong tourism. You go to Dakar, Racket Coast, you see, there's no Racket Coast here. From Cape Bon to Cape Palma is all sandy beaches. And then you have the lagoons everywhere. So God gave us natural wealth. We are not naturally poor. We just have poverty of good leadership. That's the problem in this country. And it's one government after the other. Once governance emphasizes the pockets over the people, there can be no progress. And that is happening in this country. That's why I keep saying government is a place to serve, not to steal. But government after government emphasizes the pocket more, and not the pockets of the people, are pockets of the 1% that serve in government. Even the $1 billion that they say we're going to have, even at $5 billion, the level of poverty in this country will remain the same, because people who serve in government will have more trips, they will have large delegations, they will have first class, they will have big banquets, they will waste the money, they will not go to education, health, agriculture, and infrastructure. So I can be ashamed when World Bank credit give us $250 million. Botswana, they don't want World Bank money. You hear Ghana talking. Namibia say we finish paying. Other countries are walking away from it and depend. Ethiopia built the largest dam in Africa without borrowing money from anywhere. Using the country's money. That when you go to Ethiopia, I worked there before, the places I worked, they say, "Oh, Counselor, when you go to the places now, they are changed because there is electricity almost in every Ethiopian village." That people appreciate the government, because government is for the people, not for the pockets. We still have a situation of government for the pockets. Look, we have examples here. President Talbot. When I say President Talbot, but you're arguing against President Talbot, nobody is perfect. We will arguing.
Yeah, the progressive. I mean, there's a school of thought that the progressive, you people support the country.
Yeah, and the people can be saying that the ones who are benefiting from the progressive struggle. Because without our struggle, there would not have been Bwaka in the mansion. We would never have been in the mansion. But because of our struggle today, a Talbot can be in the mansion, a Bwaka can be there. A Harris can be in the mansion, a Wea can be there. A Talbot can be in the mansion. We created a situation, we're fighting for a situation where Liberia will be free for all, and you will not have privileges or rights based on the status of your birth, from what family you came from what tribe you came from, what country, what region. We didn't want a tribalistic government as is happening today. We wanted all Liberians to be treated equally and getting privileges and opportunities and rights based on your productivity, your track record, and your whole character. Because you're not responsible for how you were born, but you are responsible for what you do. And that is the Liberia we're arguing for. And today, in the three branches of government, the names that are there were not there before. They are there because of the progressive struggle. And I don't want anybody to say in this country that Congo man can be president. That's wrong. Congo man can be president, and the tribal president can be president. We cannot continue that discrimination. I was in South Africa in 1994 when Mandela became president, and I like what he said. This same Cyril Ramaphosa, who president now, you're a young militant, workers, leaders, COSATU president, Secretary General, and he said in my person, in Utene Kona Butle, because our UN observer, he said, comrades, the time is coming for the smiling old man to be sitting on the throne of power and for Bola declare to be at the front of the unemployment line. That evening, Mandela said, I denounce reckless and irresponsible statements from leaders of ANC. I do not want to lead a country where we will be oppressors replacing another group of oppressors. I want South Africa to be a rainbow nation and for all South Africans. That's the kind of thing we're fighting for. So when I see some people in this country, some politicians trying to say, I'm not a Congo man, I'm not this tribe and all that, I say you're sending a wrong message. You should not be despised or liked because of your name, because of the family you came from, because of the tribe you came from. That's a wrong message. You should claim who you are. If I was a Congo man, I would say I'm proud to be a Congo man. In fact, if I were president in this country now, I will help to reconstruct the settlements because those are part of our history. These zinc houses that were there with the plank floor, we need to restore them. A part of our history. We need to put thatch-roof huts on Providence Island. When the settlers came here, there are only thatch-roof huts. At least there should be 2-3 thatch-roof huts for tourism purposes. And these are the huts that used to be here. We cannot run away from our dream. Our dream in the Declaration of Independence was to build a country where freedom and respect for human rights should be number one. Liberia should be a human rights paradise, which should be a model in Africa. Nobody should talk about human rights abuse here. People dying mysteriously, different things. No. We said we're going to establish a country that will be governed equal to any race in the world. We have failed. Liberia and Haiti have miserably failed in their dreams. Haiti was the first country to be run by black people. And this country, of course, Ethiopia, has done well. It was never colonized. It's even the only country that defeated European colonizers, the Italians, when they tried to drove them out twice. It's a pride of Africa. I work there too, just like I work in South Africa. Okay. Yeah. So discrimination is not good. That's why we are fighting against exclusion as a political party. There are about 20 political parties that tend to be excluded on the basis of the quota law, right? Mm-hmm. The percentage law. But we are taking the bullets for them because we are the oldest political party among them. LPP was established, in the 1980s. 83 we came together, and 84 we had our constitution, everything and registered. So we are the oldest political party. As a big brother, big sister party, we are taking the lead, and when we succeed, all of them will benefit.
Okay, finally, before we go to the lines with the time at 9 minutes after 10 o'clock, the president submitted 2 bills, the anti-corruption bill and the bill for the establishment of the war crimes code. What's your take?
Well, I think it's good that happened. I just received the bill recently after they've already gone to the president. I'll read it thoroughly, and if there are some correction to make suggestions, since it hasn't passed, we will quietly submit it to the legislature. Not to the legislature, maybe to the War and Economic Crime Code Secretary to send it because, many eyes are better than one. It's a historic document for any impunity or starting to end impunity and for strengthening the peace in this country. And I've been a lead advocate of that, and we work hard to get Dr. Babu to be over and some, I guess he's busy, but we used to talk a lot. Our schedules have made it we don't talk a lot, but he sent a copy to me through someone to the office. So I'm going to take my time to read it thoroughly and make some comments to him for the improvement.
Okay, all right. Councillor Tiawan is Councillor Saye Tiawan.
No, Tiawan Saye Gongloe.
The Tiawan
You are
Saye-
right. It should actually be Saye Tiawan Gongloe
Gongloe.
because Saye, that the first born,
Okay.
then Tiawan is a given name. This one that rank at number one. Yeah.
Say that in the army or the police.
Yeah.
So let's hear from you now. We can take maybe 12 calls and just keep it at 1 minute per call so that Councillor has the.
With a question mark. There's a difference between question.
Yeah, question, opinions. You want to make opinion, you give opinion. Don't give opinion and ask question. I mean, let's take as many questions as possible. Zero for the WhatsApp call +231 776 236 528. That's for WhatsApp call. For the regular call, take 0777 40 40 10. That's for the regular call. WhatsApp +231 776 236 528. Let's start with this one. The first caller. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, this is John V. Farmer. I'm calling from Ramon Novia. Let me say good morning to my grandfather, Councillor Gongloe. I know him very well. Councillor Gongloe, this is John Farmer. This is Jesse Farmer's son.
Oh,
Councillor, thank you very well. I enjoyed the tutorial. I like the way you present the matter. And from that point, I grabbed many things that I thought I would have heard in the next 10 years.
Wow.
So I can say thank you. I hope to find you one of these days.
Thank you.
Thank you for reaching out.
my grandpa.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's speak this one. Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, there's Tobias. We are.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chief, how are you?
Hey, my former assistant, Solicitor General.
Let me say two things. The first thing I want to say is about Councillor Gongloe and Dr. Water Calling.
Okay.
They came from a long way.
Okay.
On April 6th, can't you remember at the Nigerian house? When
Yes.
when Vopier and myself used to go there, that's where I know you guys from.
The late Vopier,
They live Vopier, yeah.
my younger brother.
Look, the next thing I want to say, people don't know in this country consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that Councillor Gongloe were the first people immediately when Ellen came in power to go and look at the Metro Steel agreement in United States, the first group? Do you know? I'm saying this because it's important. I'm hearing the agreement all the time. They have flood. He went, and for the second time to go back. Hello?
Yeah, you're alive. Go ahead.
For the second time to go back, Councillor Gongloe has stood up from that delegation.
Wow.
Today, that agreement still have flaw. Look, I may have my problem about calling 2-3 persons in Liberia that I can vouch for. Is that man in that stadium?
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's pick this one. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning to you in studio and good morning to the listening public. My
Yeah.
name is Jerry Kandi, comrade who has Jerry Visa. I'm the pastor in the UK Person Established Community Actually for Kingsfield this morning. Mr. Gongloe is one of those who is very powerful, and respected in as well. But I have had some disagreement with him over the period of time, and I blame him.
Say one. Yeah, what has been one of your disagreements?
So I blame him also for the backwardness of Liberia when it comes to law.
Okay.
With all the engagement that other government, including this government, told Mr. Gongloe, this is where you are. Can you serve in any of the positions? Let's say maybe
Minister of Justice.
Justice Minister, or maybe you can wait after some of the times that have expired.
And be associate justice.
You can take wonderful. So, and he refused all. But at the end, he's at the back and saying the justice.
But maybe he likes advocacy. I mean, maybe he likes advocacy. That's his strength. I mean, serving government sometimes can limit you.
So if you claim you love Liberia and you are at the back and advocating and it's not working and you have the opportunity to serve the people and work out the system, I think it will be good for us rather than being at the back and say, oh, I don't want to be there, but this is not correct. I don't want to be there, but this is not correct.
Okay.
And you have the opportunity. Not that you want to be there and you be denied of the opportunity. No. The opportunity is given to you to help us strengthen our place. This is where we know you put us, and we all welcome you there.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Let me take the last one, then you will respond to all of them. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, 1 minute so that the councillor can respond and we'll go back to the lines.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Let me say good morning to the council. My name is Here I'm great my name, and I joined the conversation for Minister and member of the Labour Party that is the you know, Councillor Gongloe, I follow your conversation very well this morning. But like where the previous caller just ended, just want to figure from there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Councillor Gongloe, you are one of the main persons to which, or you people were one of the people to which have brought this far. In such a day and time to which do your administration, were paid 3 times a day. Or you people put up a chaotic scene just because people were not part of the system at that time. You put up a chaotic scene to the extent that today, even 1 day a week, cannot be found at the University of Government.
Okay.
But at that time, people were paid 3 times a day.
How do you know they were fed 3 times a day? Were you a student or maybe your father or somebody?
Councillor Gongloe have a legal time to see you. And most often at the Councillor Gongloe have narrated that more than 2-3 times.
Okay, great. All right. No, Aaron, now you got 1 minute 39 seconds now, so let's end there now. Yeah, thank you.
So let me deal with those 2 questions. First, I think there's a video on where I met President Barkai right after
the election inauguration.
And I said I came to advise you in the
President of his vice president, in the presence of my former running mate, and I said, look, Mr. President, Liberian people are tired of the same people coming to office all the time as ministers. Some people say minister in Cllr government, then we are government. In fact, Julie Bryan government, then we are government. Then they want to be in your government. Be careful. You're an older person. I think you should bring new names. Liberian people want to see new names. Don't bring back any old minister. It's good for you. So that I say, if you want to suggest, you want to bring people who work in government before, bring back former deputy ministers who serve very, very well, former assistant ministers, former director general, assistant director, whoever who have served but not the name minister. I say you like parables, so let me give you one parable. I say if 3rd grade students don't go to 4th grade, then where would the 2nd grade students go? So everybody wants elevation. They keep occupying the space. You keep bringing back old. Don't bring back old ministers. Bring new people who want to justify themselves. Old ministers have nothing to prove. Some of them might come and steal and all that. As soon as I entered the statement, he said, but I want to make you my minister of justice. I said, Mr. President, I'm not perfect. I may have plenty of bad ways, but I just told you the other people should have their chance. Myself, I'm a former minister. I serve as a minister in this very united party government. I want other people to serve as ministers. I've been minister, I've been solicitor general. Give this position to other people. I will never accept that. So I tell in good faith. I know some people really wanted me to be minister of justice. That's a view, but my view, I felt that look, going back as minister, I don't have anything to prove. People know me. I serve as a very good minister. I will not, nothing happened to me. Everybody praised me for what I did at Labour and what I did as Solicitor General. I'm very happy that someone else was taking. So at least we know Minister Tua, if there are challenges, but he trying his best, that's another way. So the other man raises the issue. So listen, I don't have to be in government for the government to perform well. I don't have monopoly over ideas. Don't say you should have been there so the government. But because I'm not in government does not mean I can't help the government to perform. Criticizing government is actually helping the government to perform because there are some things that the government may not be deliberately overlooking, but might be mistakenly overlooking. There might be some missteps. So it's good for the government, not for the government. I was the first politician in this country to leave my party to support President Barker and MPP in the second round. Therefore, I have a moral obligation to make them succeed. And the way to make them succeed is to point out what they do wrong. When they do right things, I point out, for example, when they appointed Jonathan Wider, I said, but that's a good appointment, he has experience. Oh, everybody praised, oh, the man is good. But by the time you point out some critical element, I've been saying, for example, President Bonga, there's a hanging fruit here. Issue one executive order and eliminate graduation fees. There's no need for that. So schools are charging $500 for graduation fees. Some of the graduation fees are higher than school fees. Wow. The parents can be crying. I always repeat this story. I met one lady from Pinto who said, Counselor, thank you, but I don't know whether the president will listen. I get 3 children graduating from high school. I'm worried. I'm going to borrow money from the Susu. Whereas as a mother, single mother, she should be happy that her children are doing well. But I never pay graduation fee. Graduation fee that Newton happened after the war. Before the war, we didn't have graduation.
How do schools print the diploma and all that kind of stuff?
Listen, diplomas, some of the fees they can charge. $500 can bring more than 100 diplomas. They inflate these things. They're not only that, they're going to uniform. You buy a good uniform. They say once you didn't buy it from the school, and the school one can be more expensive. But graduation fees. Let's say that for printing the booklet, the graduation booklets are being printed long time. BWI, all the school, universal library, it's been happening. It's in the school fees. And the thing is, there is no school that I know that at the opening of the school can put graduation fees. And that part of the fee they can bring. They can bring in 1 month, 2 months before graduation. You're already there. You are a captive. There's no way for you to say no. So it's a way of corruption in the educational system. It's a windfall for the schools because they don't spend that money. They don't even give a sack of drinking water to the graduates, not to the parents that go. So why should we allow that kind of thing, that kind of burden on the families? If President Bonga were to issue an executive order today, all the families in the country will clap for him to be happy. Even for a month, they will say, some of the posts selling William Market, they come to us, graduation fee. I can be vexed and say, I've been talking about graduation fee. Why you don't jump in the street and demonstrate against graduation fee or something? Because I'm not, the children staying with me, I can afford. But many you can't afford. But you can't talk. You're quiet about it. So it looks like it's not a matter that is bothering you people. And the other man talk about what the other concern he raised.
From CEO, they were eating 3 times.
You are
one of the part of the problem.
That is partially true. Those students that live on the dormitory were not even 10% of the population. Scholarship students, students who could afford the university dormitory, boys dormitory could not hold more than 300. Maybe they could not even reach 500 students. At that time, we had over 3,000 students at university. The population was small. And then the Elizabeth Tubman Hall, the girls' dormitory, again, maybe 3 to 4, 500 students. Again, that's 1,000. And people paid.
Okay. So it was not free, though?
It was not free. People paid. And those students who were good, who were on scholarship, government paid for them. Or LAMCO or Firestone, different companies pay for them. They were not free. Okay. Let him know that government was not providing that free. Tuition was 37.50. We didn't pay what they call it credit. We didn't pay per credit those days. But government put a lot of money in education in terms of subsidies, even to private schools. That's what I'm saying. Government should increase subsidies to private schools so that graduation fee and all these things can be eliminated.
Did you pay graduation fee when you left?
I never paid graduation fee.
But now people are
not law school. I never paid graduation fee.
Wow.
That is why I'm speaking against it. You know, I want to speak at a school in Nimba last year. I felt bad. They say there were 27 graduates, or 27 or 29 graduates. Only 22 graduated because the other didn't pay graduation fee. What's that? You will never have another graduation program. And how you deny a student that particular day, even if you find the money and bring it, there would not be that occasion for he and friends to take picture. They will just give him his degree, his diploma. It's really, really bad. It's oppressive. It's an element of corruption.
Okay,
so that one you're talking, you know, and then the university library was small.
Okay.
Right now there are over 20,000. Some progress have been made. The university was small. To get a university those days were not easy. You have to be really, really brilliant because the entrance exam, for example, the year I entered early were only 5 from the whole Nimba.
What?
Yeah. But then there were only 3 high schools in Nimba. San Nicolas Central High School, St. Mary's, and Karoha. Yeah.
All right, we can take it's 3 minutes to sign off time, but we can do 5 calls, 1 minute per call, and then we'll give the counselor maybe 2 minutes to wrap up. Let's pick this one. Good morning.
Danishas.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you and good morning to the council.
Yeah, 1 minute. We don't want if you go above 1 minute, I'll cut you off.
Mm-hmm. Council, can you teach what you preach by entering government and working in a specific sector, that whatsoever you preach on radio throughout, that you will teach them? Because you talk about people serving long in government. Madam Bro, she served 7 in the Unity Party government, in President we are government now, she's still in government. And out of the country, the Real Madrid Football Club, they have a long-serving president because he had built an institution in improving the club, so they were electing over and over. So serve, let us be the judge, council. Thank you.
Thank you, yo. Yes, you stuck to the time. Good morning.
Good morning, Danisha.
Yes. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you very much. Let me say good morning to the consistent and persistent councilor, Dr. Tiawan.
Good morning.
My name is Mohammed Samunubaru, a member of CMC, Chairman of the Response Defense Team. I want to appreciate the councilor for appearing to this morning to give us some of the wisdom that you always seeking. But basically, Anisha, somehow some of us we are a little bit perplexed or confused because the government in position now to be, if you observe the manner in which they are going, which are putting on who voted for this government, we're not expecting that. Reading from the security beyond the more workers can come to integrity and experience. So I want to ask the councilor, do you think that the Lagos people can trust you? Because looking at your peer now, that people believe that you know about based on a work record, is one of the points that have so integrity in terms of transparent about observing the government, not just human rights, lack of rule of law, lack of human rights responsibility, human rights.
Okay, yeah, 1 minute over. Thank you. Yeah, okay, yeah, you talk about you already asked a question. Let's pick this one. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother. This is Idris Belete.
Yeah, let's hear you, Idris.
Thank you for the opportunity. Let me say good morning to one of the broad best citizen. And I hear people asking him to serve, but this man wants to be president.
Yeah, that's a service, exactly.
All the people are asking him to serve.
That's a good one.
Most of the courage to vote for him.
Yeah, that's
but they want you to serve. You should be answerable to somebody, but you should not be the one giving instructions. The man say he has a platform. This is what he wants to do for the country. If you think that he's somebody that you can transform the country, yeah, he's asking you to give him the opportunity. But you want to eat your cake and have it. And that's not how it should be. We all have different political persuasion. Yeah, but the message, this is what he wants to do. So if you think that he can make it happen, support him in the process.
All right.
Don't compare him to submit himself to other people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. we can take two more. Someone calling on what is that? We can pick two more calls. I'm just something wrong somewhere. Okay, let's do this one. Kumali?
Dionysius?
Yeah, you are the second to the last call. We take one more after that, then we go. Let's hear you quickly.
Dionysius, good morning. Good morning. And I want to thank you for bringing Councilor Gongloe on. Councilor Gongloe, good morning. This is Puni, one of your admirers. Yeah, irresistible Puni.
Irresistible Puni.
This is going to go a long way with you. That refusal, trust me, people are not going to take it lightly because people believe that government or institution, organization need level-headed people to be on board to direct the ship. Too many people believe that to sit on the fence, even if the idea is brilliant, even if you have an excellent idea, but sitting on the fence, people don't subscribe to it nowadays.
But Puni, Idris just made a salient point that those of us
That's
who
Idris' position.
and I agree. Puni, I agree with Idris. Those of us who want him in government, he served, at one level. He wants to go to another level. So let's entrust him and see whether he can change the country. I mean, why do we want him to be minister or maybe associate justice or something? Why? Why not president or maybe vice president?
President Baka went as vice president and served as minister. President Weah came to senator. Mr. Saye served as minister. So it's not unlikely that you go directly.
So he was okay. I come in. So no, Puni wait now. Puni wait. I'll give you the time. So he was a minister. So are we suggesting he should be a senator or maybe a vice president before president?
Nima is open. He could go to the legislature. He's a fine species. He's one of our best men. I like him so much. He's a professor at the law school. However, he talked about not bringing people back. Are you aware that he served former President Saye during the interim period, but Mr. Saye brought him back? I see that's also a contradiction because he served the ICNU. At that time, they used to call it our much smaller, or my dad called it the ICNU. And
the interim government of national unity, ICNU.
Precisely. He was a very strategic man with Dr. Saye. I mean, always in the room with Dr. Saye. However, Mr. Saye brought him back as Labour Minister of Solicitor General. So why didn't they leave him? I disagree. I honorably, respectfully disagree with my admiral that if you serve in the past, that doesn't negate, that doesn't suggest if you have the best man. Somebody referenced Beribro. Somebody referenced, for me, I like John Bolu. John Bolu is one of our best. I mean, he's back now. I'll be happy. So once you have the ability, you get the competence, you're free of corruption.
Okay.
Councilor Gongloe should be talking about people whose hands are not in the cookie jar, who have served and have the experience and have the ability and the agility, should be given a chance to even serve in previous 3, 4, 5 government.
Thank you,
Provided Tanisha is okay and he has not been with check out history, Tanisha can go for 4, 5 government.
All right, Puni, thank you. We gotta go, Puni. Thank you. I gave you more than 1 minute. Councillor, I think we can wrap up from there now.
I like your disagreement, but also respect my view.
Sorry, this is an overseas call. Let me just do him justice. Maybe 30 seconds. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, 30 seconds for you because you oversee call. Yeah, let's hear you quickly.
Thank you. My name is Marcus Weah and I call from Nairobi, Kenya. So my question to the councillor, thank you.
Hey, I'm not taking. They will not get a chance. Please, the person who calling on the regular line, you're interfering. Go ahead, Marcus, quickly.
I'm asking. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do he make about the current issue at the legislature? That even if a lawmaker criticizes the House of Representatives, and then there is a decision against that person, he will be summoned. Even the ambassador Kuyate made a statement against the legislature.
Okay, all right.
Then he was
summoned. Yeah, he will have a say on that. Yeah, thank you. We're out of time. Yeah, so we're trying to squeeze in a lot. Yeah.
Totally unfair, illegal, unconstitutional, and has no basis in what Liberia was meant to be from 1847. Anything that goes towards exclusion, reducing your citizenship in terms of effective citizenship is not good for our country. Even that thing they said, vote of non-confidence, it has no basis in our law. What does it mean? It's nothing. I remember as Minister of Labor when I was being tough on the work permit fees, increasing it. They unanimously came up with a vote of non-confidence in the House. I told the president that thing, that piece of paper is nothing. The president wrote them back, President Saye wrote them back, and said, my minister have violated no law, I still have confidence in, period. So, it's just a waste of the people's time. But let me go back to his irresistible Pony, my good friend. Look, one of the things in leadership is for you to forecast. Shakespeare said, know thyself. I know myself to be radical and to be strong in my views about transformation, and now with compromise. I knew if I had gone to President Barker's government, I would have been out in the first 6 months. And the same Danisha, the same Pony and other would be saying, but when you knew, you should have known, better. So, foresight is good. Here's my example. Wilmot Pay was doing extremely well. I follow him, one of the young persons that I have respect for. IRO, Class A mining license, was next door in Sierra Leone, $1 million per year. This boy mentioned, my former assistant mentioned that Tobias, that I had 3 trips to go to America, New York. But the first trip we went on, I was acting Minister of Justice. The way I gave Mr. Singh a hard time, the mayor was negotiating for Metal Steel. At one point, the mayor got up and said, we'll leave Liberia, Metal Steel will leave Liberia. I said, go, leave. Other members of the delegation followed him, begging Mr. Singh come back. The mayor came back, he came with speed, he came with strength, because members of the Liberian delegation betraying Liberia.
Wow.
When we came back, a senator came to my office, remember, everybody from the trip said, you're the one delaying the deal. I said, Senator, we are trying to get the best for Liberia. These people are not coming, they're not missionaries, they are not relief workers. They are coming because of the profit they can make. We too should be negotiating for our best interest so that our citizens can get much out of that. They felt I was unreasonable. They didn't stop there. They raised my life with the people in Nimba. I heard Chief saying on Truth FM, they said our own son delaying the process. They said our own son or Chief's commissioner talking. I said, wow. So when they came back, when my name was on the list to go on the second trip, members of the delegation, I went to the president's office, I saw my name on that list on Firestone delegation on Liska. They dropped my name from all.
Wow.
I just heard in the air the delegation gone. I didn't ask the president. Then they came back, Madam President, when they finished the deal, we finished with a good deal. In fact, Metal Steel told us the road from Ganta to Yekepa will be about goodwill. Goodwill is not part of the contract, it's not enforceable. But you call goodwill. That's why that road had not been, it should have been part of the contract. And there were many things in the contract that will put you on. Structure of the company, what time each position Liberian will take over. We need a timeline, different things, the community, rehabilitation of the houses and all those things. I was being tough and I was considered by members of my delegation as unreasonable. Jesus. So I had a meeting with them. I said, which one are you here for Liberia? Because I see you people here talking for Metal Steel, when Metal Steel got about 7 presidents and I started negotiating, including top lawyers from the States. I will drop from the delegation. So we can buy poverty. Yeah? We can negotiate poverty. So this boy, the young man, the women paid to me $1 million. You know what Metal Steel came out? 25, $50,000 as the fee for the Class A license fee for 25 years, we mean $2,000 a year. Whereas Sierra Leone is getting $1 million a year. So we threw away $25 million. He was trying to bring that back in a new deal. They said the master here would be in trouble. It was because of the interest of concessionaires and their supporters in government that Wilmot Pay was sacrificed. So If just at Mines and Energy, what do you think about justice? That you have to attest to all of the agreements to make sure this agreement is legal or not legal. I was not going to last in the government because I was not going to compromise Liberia's interest. I'm looking at Botswana. How much they are making from the diamond? They are getting more percentage from the diamond than the bear. God gave you natural resources, then you throw it away for your people to be poor. 2 years ago, I was talking about Botswana, and there's a man from Nimba who is a mechanic working in Botswana for 1 year. He called me on the telephone. He said, "Hey, counselor, you talk something." He said, "I live in Botswana. I used to cry every day." I said, "That black man country here?" As a mechanic. He said, "The roads there have been built by Botswana engineers." Everything. It can happen here. Because they only have Dama, we get so many resources. You see that even the soil, black, what they call it, black sand, they were exporting it. We have sand here. We have granite rocks that other people import. We have so much at the end of forest. So I will not have lasted in government. I'm not going to waste my time. But more than that, I'm serving my country because I've been teaching for nearly 10 years in the law school and now in the new law school. Look, you can, people say, what has Council Gongloe done? You cannot compare anything to training, to educating people. Because I can build a story building here as a school, it can get burned, it can be destroyed. But the knowledge that people get never goes away. So I'm proud to be a good teacher as a teacher. So I've been teaching at LU since 1982. Dry all of my students. Kabina General, my student, Joseph Kaba. All the people, Samuka, even Joseph Jala in the Senate. Plenty of people I've taught. Now in the law school, I'm teaching the students and say, "Prof, you taught my pa in 1982. You taught my ma in 1987. Then somebody can say, I've not made contribution. There is no contribution you can make more than education. You build market building, you build school building, whatever you build can destroy physical thing. But knowledge does not go away, stay with people. And I'm proud that among all the politicians in this country, nobody can compare with me in terms of the contribution I've made in terms of human development.
Councillor Tiawan say Gongloe, a reverend lawyer, an integrity icon, has been our guest. We've been looking at a number of issues, particularly on the 2% for declaratory judgment with the Civil Law Code. We didn't delve into specific issues, but we branched off on many other fronts. Rule of law, corruption. He paid tribute to his friend of many years, Dusty Wolokoli. Kevin was here on behalf of Theophilus, Darwin, Ishmael Scott, Kelvin Deming, and many thanks to the councillor who came. My name is Danishus Mate. I'm bidding you a pleasant week from Monrovia. Shalom, peace, and life to everyone. Bye-bye.